I want to bring in Leon Panetta, who served as defense secretary as well as CIA director under former President Barack Obama. It's good to see you again, Mr. Secretary. There were members of the six, of the group that made this video, who said that at least part of the impetus was they were hearing from members of the active military who were telling them they were concerned about actions that they were being asked to take. So having heard what Rachel just said, I wonder if you think that they could be in a precarious position, if this is in some circumstances a catch-22.
Well, it's hard not to conclude that all of this is a giant waste of time by the administration at a time when, frankly, they should be dealing with problems in Ukraine, in Venezuela, in China, and elsewhere. To go into this effort at what is really retribution against a group of members who basically were exercising their constitutional rights in being able to advise members as to what the law is, not what the law isn't, but what the law is. And in addition, the fact is that that Kelly is not only a war hero, but he's a member of the United States Senate and has legislative immunity when it comes to what he says that falls under the responsibilities of being a senator. So, look, this is not going to go anywhere. It'll get a lot of attention, but the bottom line is that it's a waste of time.
Well, I do want to play a little bit more of what Senator Kelly told Rachel Maddow, because I think it speaks a little bit to the points you were just making. This is when he was asked about the impact that the investigation is having on him personally.
I've had a missile blow up next to my airplane. I've been shot down, nearly shot down multiple times. I've flown a rocket ship into space 4 times, built by the lowest bidder. And my wife, Gabby Giffords, meeting with her constituents, shot in the head, 6 people killed around her. A horrific thing. She spent 6 months in the hospital. We know what political violence is, and we know what causes it, too. You know, the statements that Donald Trump made is insightful, incites others. He's got millions of supporters. People listen to what he says more so than anybody else in the country. And he should be careful with his words. But I'm not going to be silenced here.
What precedent does it set, Mr. Secretary, that the Pentagon, historically apolitical, is going after the president's perceived political enemies in this way? And you hear from Senator Kelly the very direct impact on all 6 of them and the death threats.
Well, it's very concerning that the military would be politicized this way, to go after, frankly, again, someone who served this country as a hero in the military. Mark Kelly was a fighter pilot who served this country well. And to now go after somebody because of what they said. I mean, this is a country of free speech, for goodness sakes. To be diverted and have the Pentagon doing this kind of investigation really is sending the wrong message to our military, and very frankly, it's sending the wrong message to the world, that rather than paying attention to those issues that are threatening our national security, we are wasting the time of the Pentagon to go after a United States senator who is a distinguished veteran and trying to somehow accuse him of misusing the right to free speech. I mean, it's mind-boggling, but it sends, in my mind, what it sends is a message of weakness to the world about the state of the United States military right now.
Well, I would argue, and I don't think many people would disagree with me, that part of what the military fights for is the right to free speech, a basic tenet, right, of democracy in the world. But Secretary Hegseth said that in his view, Kelly's conduct brought discredit upon the armed forces and actually puts our troops in danger. What would you say to Secretary Hegseth about that?
I think the secretary needs to understand what the United States of America is all about and what the role of our military is. It's basically to protect our country, to protect our rights, to protect our freedoms, to protect our ability to be able to say what we believe is important to say, particularly if it follows the law. And it is a diversion that I don't think we need right now. We're trying to deal with Ukraine and trying to provide, hopefully, a peace settlement in Ukraine that is not a surrender. That's a big responsibility. We're dealing with Venezuela, where we have 15,000 Americans deployed to Venezuela with, frankly, no clear mission right now. That's something I'd recommend they focus on as to what to do there. We're dealing with threats from China. We're dealing with threats from North Korea. We're dealing with problems in Iran. This is a dangerous world. And rather than personally going after individuals who are exercising their freedoms, it would be a hell of a lot better if they focused on our national security.
So when Secretary Hegseth talks about danger, when he talks about impacting morale, it sounds like you believe the opposite, that, in fact, the danger is in doing what this administration is doing. And I wonder if, don't want to put words in your mouth, if you think that this could have an impact on morale if there are members of the active military who are going to members of Congress and saying, I'm concerned about whether or not the orders that I'm being given are legal.
Well, there's no question it's impacting on morale, and it's creating tremendous confusion out there. I'm sure there are members that are trying to decide what they should or should not do, particularly considering the orders that this administration is issuing. And rather than trying to kind of stabilize the situation, rather than making clear to our military that they have a role to perform in protecting this country against foreign adversaries, let's not forget that. That's what the military's role is all about. It's not law enforcement. It's not drug enforcement. It's defending our country from foreign adversaries. That's the primary role. And when you raise all of these other issues, when you divert the Pentagon into these kinds of investigations, when you're attacking those that are exercising their free rights, what you do is you undermine respect for the Constitution. And everybody swears an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. That's what they ought to focus on.
Former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta, it is always a pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you.
Good to be with you.